You know, I've had some Harbor Freight tools for a long time. Some of the first ones were the low-end stuff, and they're not even around anymore. And I'd like to talk to you about my 5 favorite Harbor Freight tools, because chances are you have your favorite Harbor Freight tools too. This deserves a good talk about.
Hello anyone, I'm Scott Bame. They call me the old farmer. When it comes to Harbor Freight tools, those of us following the brand understand that the quality of the many products have improved. This is also true for the lower lines offered by Harbor Freight. I remember the first battery-powered drill I bought eons ago was from the low-end line. The battery charger blew the batteries, making the cordless drill worthless. Harbor Freight sent me a replacement battery and charger, and the same thing happened. I think I got 2 hours total out of the drill. But fortunately, Harbor Freight cleaned up their act and then offered an excellent DIY line that was actually an excellent backup for contractors. This was the Bauer line of tools. Later, Hercules tools were offered. To be honest, some of the Bauer tools were better than found in the Hercules line, but Harbor Freight wanted to compete on quality with the big boys and kept improving both lines until they were equal in quality, while priced down to what these tools should cost. Along with the way Harbor Freight's warranty worked, Just Bring It Back is starting to step heavy on the major brands. Once the trust is earned in the commercial arena, Harbor Freight will be the big boy in tools, and other brands will become the also-rans. The slight differences between Harbor Freight tools and the other brands can only be seen in laboratory testing, and many times Harbor Freight will be the winner, but the differences either way can't be noticed in the real world. So let me tell you my 5 favorite Harbor Freight tools, starting with number 5 and ending with my most favorite Harbor Freight tool. But before I do that, I've got a couple of runner-ups for the 5th position. These ratings have nothing to do with performance. It's the tools I use most often, and a tool I like using. The first runner-up is the 1/4-inch Bauer impact driver. It's not that it's a lesser tool, far from it. I just don't use it as much as what I thought I would. It's a great tool and an excellent backup for a commercial tool pouch. The second runner-up is the same, the Earthquake 1/2-inch pneumatic impact driver. It does the job better than many other tools of the same rating, but I seldom have the need for such a brute. If I had a shop, this tool would be part of my kit. Now, holding the 5th position is the Harbor Freight Doyle heavy-duty wire strippers and cutter, with a June 2024 price of $24.99 regular price. I just repaired the connectors. I actually replaced the connectors, I should say, on 2 shotgun microphones, and these are the cat's pajamas for stripping fine wires. Even the finer ones found in microphones, it does a good job on it. If I forgot to return the strippers to the drawer after using, I will search all day until I find them. And I should let you know that Harbor Freight says the cutters are replaceable. Number 4 is the Harbor Freight Pittsburgh 1/2-inch combination square with the June 2024 price of $7.99. Mine has been true to scale from day one. Test it in the store to see if the one that you want is square. If there are any problems, try several. But mine is square, and I can depend on it for the markings I do. My pencil is far less accurate than the square. Holding a strong third position in my mind is the Franklin workstation that was switched to the Bauer name, and now, believe it or not, is no longer available on the Harbor Freight website. Now, there's similar versions available, or you can pay over $200 for the Rockwell version. I recommend this workstation for those who haven't built a workbench yet. And you can use a lot of things in the jaws of the workstation. For example, most times I keep a belt sander in it for sharpening knives. It does a great job of doing that. Even if you have a workbench, I would recommend picking up a Franklin workstation or the equivalent. That's my number 3 position, and I'm holding to it. My number 2 is the Bauer 20-volt cordless half-inch drill driver at the current regular price of $39.99 just for the drill. You can buy a kit. I have to say, the first one I had to take back because the chuck-through bits and the battery regulator didn't work. After 2 minutes, it thought the battery was dead. The warranty replacement that I got has worked perfectly from day one. And just to let you know, it sits right next to a DeWalt drill driver. And I always pick up the Bauer every time. The only time I use the DeWalt is if I need 2 drivers at once. The number 1, my favorite tool, is a Hercules 12-inch dual bevel sliding compound miter saw with precision LED shadow guide. The current price is $349.99 in June 2024. It has stayed true from right out of the box, and I have never had to adjust it back to tolerances. The shadow guide outperforms any other outboard marking of the position for the cut. It lines it up perfectly, and I make a perfect cut every time, whereas a laser could get out of tolerance and you wouldn't know it. This can't get out of tolerance. It's the perfect tool for finding your mark for cutting. This miter saw cuts as accurately as the Festool miter saw. I will say the Festool does a bit better on dust collection, but it's a shop. If you're afraid of a little dust, assuming you're wearing the proper safety gear, then maybe you should give up your shop and take up knitting where there isn't any dust. Well, these are my top 5 Harbor Freight tools. I'm sure you have your favorites. We'd all appreciate it if you would list your favorites in the comments below.
Thank you for watching, and please be safe.
We'd sure appreciate it if you could subscribe and leave a comment. You know how YouTube behaves. They won't believe you watched a video unless you leave a comment. Also, it would help if you ring the bell and do a thumbs up. As you know, if I find a good channel, I pass it on to you. So if you think it's appropriate, it would sure help if you passed us on to your closest 10,000 friends and family. But above all, give a helping hand to someone today. It's the best gift to give. It'll make you feel good too.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the Original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching The Original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.